When sports are life and life is sports, I'm James Simmons and I got 5 on it. Happy holidays, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of I've Got 5 on it. I am James and this is a dazzling production. But I've been sitting on this take since I've gotten it. Maybe a week ago at Max, wide receiver coach out of New York Jets wide receiver coach, Miles Austin. You may know him as a former wide receiver in the league, played for Dallas and may have played for some other teams, but made his bread and butter, made his name known as a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, undrafted, I believe, out of a small college in Jersey, Monmouth, and, big guy, 6'4", 210, 215, 220, somewhere around there. Did some good things, definitely things that was unexpected of him. Recently, he was suspended for a 12-month period due to infractions violating the league's rule in regards to gambling. As you all know, if you follow the league, gambling has been something, online betting, all of these different ways of placing wagers on the game has been embraced by the league, right? They are definitely embracing folks being able to gamble, so on and so forth. When I first heard this story, I was like, man, this guy is a knucklehead, so on and so forth. And I said, before I place any judgment, which I should be doing anyway, but before I place any extreme judgment on him, let me look into this and see what's going on. And the way the league has it broken down is two ways. They have rules for players, and they also have rules for executive coaches, all of those front office type people, so on and so forth. And let me say this off the bat. He was not gambling on football. All right. So I just want to make sure that's crystal clear. He was not gambling on football. And the way the league has their rules set up is as such. Players are able to gamble, place bets and wagers on any sport with the exception of NFL games. Now, for coaches and all of these other individuals, front office, so on and so forth, they are not allowed to gamble, period. And when I heard that, it kind of like blew my mind. And I'm like, why is it good for the players, or why is it players are eligible to bet on these games when coaches, front office folks, and so on and so forth, are not allowed to place bets on any sports? And, as we know, the players are the ones who make all of the money, right? When you're talking about that pocket and circle of people, right? You got the billionaire owners. That's a whole different stratosphere. But when you talk about coaches, front office folks, so on and so forth, they make up a handful of people in your organization, and they're not making the type of money that the athletes are making. Athletes are making, and I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen. I'll let you know what the annual salary cap is. But those guys are making tons of money. So why not have them be able to participate in the wagering and betting on sports, because they got big dollars, right? Coaches, front office people, their money isn't the type of money that the athletes are making. We also know, right, that the average career span of an NFL player is 3.5 years. We know that within 2 years of retiring, the NFL player is 78% of them are in some type of financial distress or have filed bankruptcy. Within 5 years, that number drops to 65%. So we see the longer players hold on to their money, the better off they'll be in the long term. The league has to do a lot better with the financial education, helping these guys plan, services, and so on. And I know in the last few years that has gotten better. Players, they have to do a better job of getting themselves into financial savvy situations, educated, so on and so forth. I'm not putting this all on the league. Players have to also take responsibility as well. But I just thought it was a little mind-boggling that the NFL would allow their players who historically go bankrupt or have financial distress within almost immediately after retiring from the league, yet they would protect coaches, front office folks, so on and so forth, by not allowing them to participate in wagers. And again, folks are grown-ups, folks are making decisions on their own, but I just thought that was very, very interesting and to me a little bit telling on how a lot of the business of the NFL is conducted. Leave a comment in the section below. Would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about NFL players being able to bet, place wages on games outside of the NFL, whereas coaches, front office folks, and people of that nature are not.